Hey first graders, Mr. Bell here. Alright, let's get started on your next project. And that is the rainbow swoosh through space. Here you go. Alright, what I want you to remember on this is the order that the colors in the rainbow are. So you got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. I'm going back to red again, but what this project is really about are the colors you get when you mix primary and secondary colors together. So you'll get red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet being the same thing as purple, and red, violet. Alright, let's take a look at this chart. We'll do a little review here first. And remember on other projects we've done where we mixed primary colors together to make secondary colors. Alright, so red and yellow mixed together makes orange. And red and blue mixed together makes violet, also known as purple. And yellow and blue mixed together makes green. But what if you mix primary colors like red with secondary colors like orange? Then you will get what's called tertiary colors. Say it to yourself. Tertiary colors. That's the third set of colors. So you'll see right here, if you mix red, primary color, with secondary color orange, you'll get a tertiary color, red-orange. So that's really half red and it's half orange. Half of each mixed together. If you'll see crayons that say that too. If you mix yellow and orange, you will get yellow-orange, half yellow, half orange, because it's half this and half this. If you mix red and violet together, you'll get red-violet. If you mix blue and violet together, you'll get blue-violet. If you mix yellow and green together, you'll get yellow-green. And if you mix blue and green together, you'll get blue-green. Alright, so hit pause and study this sheet here and remember the chart. Okay? Now here are some examples of some crayons that are already mixed together. There's red-orange. That's this. There's yellow-orange right there. And red-violet. And blue-violet. And yellow-green. And blue-green. But we're not going to use these crayons. You are going to make your own tertiary colors by mixing these crayons together. Alright. Alright, well, let's go ahead and let's get started on this project. You're going to need a sheet of paper and a pencil first. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. And I'm just going to put two lines going across the middle of the paper. Make sure your paper is going long ways, horizontally like this. And just make up how you want it to go. I like to go a little bit narrow in the middle and fan it out at the ends. I like that. That looks good. And we're going to start with the red crayon. So we're going to go ahead and color this part red. Don't go all the way across. We're just doing a little section, okay? So let's go ahead and color that in. And just color about medium. You don't, not too lightly, but not too hard. And next, we're going to go to orange. And color this part orange. And where it meets the red, make sure you overlap it. I'm going to push a little harder where it overlaps. Alright, so now we've taken a primary color and a secondary color, mix them together to make a tertiary color. So red and orange mixed together makes red-orange. Alright? Alright. Then we're going on to yellow. Same thing. Yeah, you do want to push a little harder with the yellow because it's hard to get it to show up. And then when you finish this part, overlap on top of the orange to make yellow-orange. Don't cover the whole orange, just the edge here. because you want to have regular orange in between. And there's yellow-orange. I'll move on to the green. Now when you do the green, you want to not push too hard. So I'm going to push kind of lightly, color this lightly to make yellow-green. Remember, don't push too hard. It'll cover it up too much. Look at that. Look at that yellow-green. And then over here, I'm going to do some regular green. Hopefully you're around the middle right now. Somewhere around the middle. If you're not, you want to make your green a little longer until you get to the middle, okay? And we're going to move on to the blue. These are all in the order of the color of the rainbow. And I'm going to color blue over here. And I'm going to overlap a little bit of the green with the blue. So here we go. I'm overlapping. And where it overlaps, it turns blue-green. That's a tertiary color. So we have red-orange, yellow-orange, yellow-green, blue-green, all tertiary colors. And I'm moving on to violet. And remember, violet is the same thing as purple. That's why purple's in parentheses right next to the word violet. It's like a nickname for it. I'm going to go ahead and color maybe out to about here. And I'm going to work my way towards the blue. And when I get to the blue, I'm going to overlap it a little bit. Right there. And it turns blue-violet. It's a tertiary color. And then I'm going back to red again, because I need to make some red-violet. And that's your last tertiary color on this project. So I'm going to go all the way to the edge. Remember to have something underneath here if you're working on a table that shouldn't be getting messed up at home. Alright, color this all in. And I'm getting closer to the violet, also known as purple. And I'm going to overlap it right here at the edge. And it turns red-violet. See that showing up? Isn't that cool? This is like art and science mixed together. You're doing an art project, but mixing the colors is like the science part. And there we go. And you have your list all made. There we go. So we have red-orange. We have yellow-orange. We have yellow-green. We have blue-green. We have blue-violet. And we have red-violet. And you made those all by yourself. Now there's the last part of the project, and that is putting, we could put a sun up here, Saturn, some shooting stars, planet Earth. I don't know, I made this planet up here. I'm going to pretend it's Mars, but I've used all three of the warm colors. A little UFO, a rocket that took off, it says USA on there. All right, that's kind of some kind of stuff that you could do. Here's another one I'm working on. All right, so you want to get your pencil back out. And if you have something circular to trace for your planets, you can do that, or you can draw it on your own. So I have a couple of caps here, and I can go like this and get a really good circle. You know, if I want to put a moon, I can draw that on my own. You could draw your own circles or find something to trace. I'm going to put a planet over here. And if you want to make Saturn, what you want to do is put your pencil right on the edge of that circle like that. Draw around like this, like you're making a semicircle on the side. But just keep on going. When you get to the other side, curl it around and stop at the edge. It'll look like you have a ring around there. You know, for stars, you can just put little circles here. You can color them white or yellow. This is my moon here. I'm going to put some, just use my pencil to put some little, those dark shapes that are on the moon. And for planet Earth, I'm just gonna make up some wiggly shapes. That's the land, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it mostly blue. because the Earth is mostly water anyway. And if you want to draw a rocket, you could do something like this. It's flying up here in space, and draw a little triangle here. And put a couple of straight lines like this, and then put some diagonal lines. Sometimes it helps if you turn your paper this way when you're doing this kind of stuff. And a couple more straight lines, a couple more diagonal lines, and a straight line here, and put some little rocket boosters. And you could write USA on there if you want to, or even NASA. NASA, a space agency. Alright. You could draw a UFO if you want to. You don't have to have any of this. You don't have to have a rocket or a UFO. Put planet Earth and a moon at least, and maybe Saturn. You can make up some other planets too if you want to. A little UFO flying through space. Put some little lights on the side. I don't know. You don't have to have that if you don't want to. Maybe I'll put part of the sun showing. You could make it bigger or smaller, it doesn't really matter. Just put some neat stuff in your picture to make it look interesting. And I'm going to put a bunch of little circles here for the stars, and I'm going to make this a shooting star, so I'm going to make it go real pointy like that. Maybe I'll put one over here, another shooting star. And then it's time to start coloring. I usually do the stars like this. I like to use yellow because it makes the picture look a little brighter. But some people like to use white in these parts. Put the little lights on here. Decide what color you want to make stuff. I'm just going to make this UFO gray. Maybe I'll make a Saturn. I think it's a brownish color. And I think it has a yellow ring around it. I might make the sun yellow and maybe blend some orange in with it too. And of course, I'm going to make the land on Earth green, and I'm going to color where the water would be blue, and I'm going to leave the rocket white. I'm not going to do anything to it, but I am going to put USA like that. All right, and put some little yellow, orange, and red in there for the rocket boosters. It's flying up into space. So that's the kind of stuff you want to do. So once you have your stuff drawn and pencil, then go ahead and get your crayons and start coloring in. If you don't have watercolor paints to paint the background black, then just you might want to use marker on some of this stuff and then use a black crayon to color the background. Or you can use crayon on this and still use a black crayon on the background. Alright, so I'm gonna get coloring some more stuff. Okay, blend a little bit of orange with the yellow there, and maybe put some little black marks on there like that. And I'm going to use white to at least get the edges of my rocket ship. Maybe go on here. I have blue crayon on there, so I'm not going to get too close to that with the crayon because I don't want it to smear. In case the paint touches here, I don't want it to cover up my rocket. So now the last part of the project is to paint the background black. And the neat thing about that is crayon's a solid, so it'll block out the watercolor paint. I can paint black right on top of that star, and it just moves it away. It resists it. Look at that. I'm not going to go on top of my planet and stuff. I'm going to paint around some of this real carefully and around the sun carefully and that kind of stuff. I'm going to paint real carefully around planet Earth and around my rocket ship. I'm going to paint real carefully. I don't want it to get covered up. Alright, so here we go. I just finished the last part. And boys and girls, there it is. Alright. Rainbow swoosh through space. Primary, secondary, tertiary colors. Have fun with this. I can't wait to see yours. Alright, bye.